I'm Paula Dimming from the board game YouTube series Things Get Dicey and the board game podcast This Game is Broken, and I'm here with Chief of Development Michael Ozon and CEO Jacob Wieczniewski from Glass Cannon Unplugged, the makers of Apex Legends, the board game. Today, fellas, we're talking combat, because Apex Legends is a shooter. You can't have a shooter without combat, right? I mean...
Right.
Yeah.
Hello, Paula. Good to see you.
Right.
How are y'all today?
Great. See you again.
Good. It's always nice to see you all and talk with you about this game. So let's dive in. I want to know a little about the challenges that you faced in bringing the dynamic fights from the original game into the board game.
Okay, so today's video should be the absolutely most exciting of all we've done so far.
That's
because
right.
Combat is actually the adrenaline rush, the thing that you yearn for when you play Apex Legends. And it's you've said it really well. It's the most challenging thing to represent in a board game, especially that we chose not to use dice in the board game. There's absolutely no dice in Apex Legends, the board game.
Eurogamers will be thrilled.
Well, they might have to.
We have a random factor, but not based on a die.
Right. Yes. So I'll let Michał speak about a bit more about the mechanics of shooting, but I'll just say that the representation that we have in the board game is actually not only just the amount of bullets that are being shot. It's also the burst and the recoil of a rifle or a weapon. This is also represented. So Michał, why don't you tell us what's cooking?
Yeah.
When we play Battle Royale game, we start with looting, we start with exploration of the board, and we start with collecting weapons to shoot to other players, right? So at first, during the game, we are choosing our weapon, and we need to match the legend with a weapon, the play style that we talked about in the previous videos, and our positioning on the map, all that stuff, which is important from the tactical point of view. We need to have a proper weapon for this. And we have a plethora of weapons in Apex Legends, right? So we implemented all of them into the board game. And every weapon is different, right? So they differ by range, by rate of fire, by hit threshold, by damage they make to target, right? So there are plenty of weapons that have different, you shoot different with sniper rifle, with shotgun, or with a pistol, right? And they have different, you need them for different moments of your playing session. You use weapons with larger ranges for shooting from the far areas of the board, and you should also have something like a shotgun or machine gun or something for a close quarters battle, right? Also, we have grenades and legend abilities that also could be used for dealing damage to other players. And just after you get a weapon during the exploration phase or looting during the final stage of the combat, you also will be able to customize it, right? Because this is also very important part of the Battle Royale experience. So you enhance your weapon with all the different items that will let you to kill faster, right? And deal better damage. So we have barrel stabilizers, which increase stability of weapon. We have extended magazines, which enables us to shoot longer, right? We've got optics to hit enemies better, right? And also stocks that will increase the weapon damage. So with proper attachments, we can build up a weapon that will meet our expectations of our tactics, right? For our legend, their abilities, the positioning on the board. The weapon is a very important part of this entire tactics, players' tactics.
Yeah. So once you've equipped your customized weapon, you need to get in the right position on the map to help play to your weapon's strength. And if you, yes, you, watching this video, want to know more about the map and the world of Apex Legends, you should check out our previous video, which is linked below. But okay, so I look super cool. I'm on the map. I've got my sweet customized weapon. How do I shoot it? How does that work? So we already said there's no dice, but there is randomness. There is luck in the game. Sorry, Eurogamers. So how are we dealing with that?
Shooting must be fun. This is the most important part in shooting. I shoot real weapons many times, and the cool factor of holding the weapon is great. The same when you play Apex Legends game, the shooting is the best thing in the game, how it works there, right? So we really wanted to have it, to keep shooting in board game as cool as it is in the digital game, right? So there is, as you said, there is a look factor, but there are no dice in it. So we've got aim board, which shows the recoil of your weapon. And when you start shooting, when you shoot your first bullet, you start in a good position on this board. But with every another shoot, your recoil is bigger, so your hit threshold is more difficult to reach with every card you play. So the longer you shoot, the harder is to hit the enemy with every shoot, right? But there is also other things put there. For example, the possible advantage from your high ground. When you get a card that shows that you have missed, but it has an icon showing that if you have a high ground, you hit, right? The same with obstacles and other stuff that happens in a tactical positioning between legends on board, right? So the entire shooting mechanics, it's really streamlined. It shows us, it answers the question, do I hit? Do I hit if I have lower ground or high ground? Do I hit if there are obstacles in the way between us, etc., etc.? You see the result by just looking on the cards you play during your shooting action.
So to actually, in the game, when I'm taking a shot, I'm actually flipping over cards from a deck onto the board, right?
Board. You feel it as rolling a dice because you do not know result of your shooting. But this is a decision. For example, how much ammo I want to spend, how long I want to shoot, which weapon I'm going to use in the specific range and terrain between us. There is a plenty of decisions when you start shooting, but of course the result is not known until we pull the trigger.
And there's plenty of options to minimize the randomness also, right? All the attachment and abilities of all the legends, they allow you to minimize randomness or actually maximize the damage output that you can do in a certain situation.
And as I said, we have also grenades or legend abilities. For example, Bangalore's smoke screen, right? The Shield of Gibraltar. There is plenty of tactical decisions that player take into account when they shoot. Also, we will speak about it in one of the next videos. We have reaction system. So players can react when they are attacked with their abilities and reaction cards, right? So this is a bit of randomness, but as we are making here a tactical game, the tactical factor is much more important than randomness of the aim deck.
So let's say I've made all of these decisions, I've flipped over the cards, I've made my hit threshold. It means I've hit my target. How does damage work in the game?
Basically, like in the video game Apex Legends, we have the shield and the health. And those two work independently. So whenever you take damage, if it's weapon damage, it first hits the shield and then it goes down. When it's out, then it starts going for your health. Certain abilities or the ring actually damages your health directly, omitting the shield.
Okay.
So whenever you hit, you check on your weapons card what's the damage statistic of it. You check if you've made a headshot, because if you did, there's extra damage. And then you check your attachments, because some of them add even more damage on top of that. So each card, each shot gives you a different potential for dealing damage.
And now we're, of course, all playing a different legend who has different abilities. How important are those differences? Does it matter which legend I choose to play in the game?
Absolutely. Especially the team ups matter, because legends themselves, they're powerful, but when you combine their abilities right, they become an unstoppable force. And when you have characters like Bloodhound and Bangalore in one team, you're in for some trouble. They can boost each other's damage output. They can actually work really well together. And that's also very important for what Michał said earlier, because when you're choosing weapons, you're not only choosing them for your legend, but you're also checking what your teammate took to be complementary to it. If I have a sniper rifle and let's say a wingman, I want my teammate to have an SMG, something for mid-range, and maybe to complement for what I'm lacking. Combine this with the legend's abilities, and you get a lot of options.
Yeah. This builds a team play there, because we are not playing this game alone. We are playing it in teams, and we can't have all the weapons. We can't have all the attachments. We need to divide our combat roles and work in composition of our abilities, our weapons, our playing. For example, I am very aggressive player. I should take aggressive legend, because I won't play well with defensive legend, right? All that factors need to be taken into account when you want to win during the game.
So depending on your team makeup or your own preferred play style, you might choose a legend who is more about offense, or one more about defense, or one more about support or recon, depending on what works best for you and your team you're playing with.
Yeah, absolutely. There are, as Jacob said, we have hit points and we have shields. There are plenty of items that we can use to heal or to restore our shields during the game. So we are using almost all kinds of equipment that we have met in Apex Legends games. We have transferred them to Apex Legends, the board game, right? And teamwork also helps here, because we can be healed by, for example, other teammates, right?
Yeah. Can you tell me, Jacob, you mentioned a moment ago about the legends having abilities. Can you tell me a little bit about how those abilities work?
Oh yeah, like I mean, it's a video in itself. Not a few videos, but being brief, we wanted each legend to have that unique feeling like they do in the video game. And not only is it represented in their miniatures, it's also represented in the ultimates and abilities they have. And it's also represented by their unique deck of cards. So each legend has a unique deck of cards, and those cards represent those epic moments that we all know and love from Apex Legends, when Bloodhound has been tracking someone and seeing them through walls, and that person is running out thinking they're safe, and there's Bloodhound with a massive shotgun just waiting to take that shot. So we have all those epic moments representing those cards, and when played at the right moment, those cards, they basically tell a story. To a player who's inside that experience, those cards and those abilities, they reminisce of memories from the video game or create unique memories if you don't know the video game. So besides the miniatures, the cards, the abilities, we also have the effects, because many of the legends, they have some kind of unique effects, and those are also represented by 3D miniatures. Some of them can be visible on the renders we've already showed. Some we still want to keep a secret to have some surprises.
Can't reveal everything all up front. Some things we have to save. That's right. So in our previous video, we talked a little bit about line of sight. So how does that relate to the range of the weapons that we're talking about now in this video?
Okay, so in the Apex Legends, the board game, like in the video game, each weapon has sort of like the optimal range, the perfect range that we can shoot. This can be modified with the weapons attachments, obviously, but when choosing weapons, you want to be able to cover different grounds. You want something for close quarters, maybe for medium range, or for long range sniping. And each of those weapons has a unique range. So, for example, for some, it might be like, for a sniper rifle, it can be more than 5 spaces from one legend to its target. For other weapons, it can be a bracket, let's say a range from 1 to 3. And then for others, especially powerful weapons like shotguns, it can be a set range, a number like 2 or 3, where that weapon works best.
Okay.
And for not achieving the perfect range, there's basically an aiming penalty that can also be a little bit modified and mitigated by abilities of legends and by attachments. Exactly.
Well, Michael, Jacob, thank you so much for joining me today to talk about the combat and the shooting in Apex Legends, the board game. And of course, thank you for watching and learning about it along with me. If you'd like to read more about this topic, you can check out the full article, which is linked in the description below. Next, we'll be talking about how you can respond to your enemy's attacks using the reaction system. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And you can follow the Kickstarter page for Apex Legends, the board game, which is also linked in the description below. So make sure you do that so that you can be among the first to grab the best loot. And remember, legends change the game. Will you become one? Bye.
Bye. Thank you.